Sir Jim Ratcliffe has just come out and done an interview on BBC and with Gary Neville to say how much Manchester United are struggling. His massive investment into the club actually is all gone. And if he didn't come in to rescue them, the club would have been gone by December into bankruptcy, which potentially could end Manchester United and their history. Which, speaking of, why don't they try and replicate to save themselves? As in 1992, Manchester United promoted some youth players in all these you can see on screen, which really made the spine of their squad up. As that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to team up with Ruben Amorim, making sure Manchester United become a youthful squad and that's their way forward, as we rebuild Manchester United using only their academy. Yes, people, this will be explained further. We've got Ruben Amorim joining the club. Because we're starting on Monday, the 1st of July, we are not using the live points to make this challenge harder, as you might have seen the previous Real Madrid and Barcelona versions of this video. But here's the twist. Unlike with them, I relegated them to the division below. Manchester United start in the Premier League, so no movement on that front. As the challenge isn't we can't make signings, this is to make the class of 92. First and foremost, which includes 5 Englishmen and 1 Welshman to replicate Ryan Giggs, but then we've also got to get a Portuguese in just for Ruben Amorim and Ronaldo's sake. If we could make another Ronaldo, that would really help us. And also we need a Scotsman because their most successful manager, Alex Ferguson, of course himself is Scottish, adding to this challenge as 125 million, but still we can get to spend that because the overall aim of this video is we have to win the Champions League within 5 seasons, and all 8 of our youngsters must be in the Champions League final squad, which is going to make this challenge extra difficult. But we can sign players still around this squad to hopefully help us, and I think we've got to go world-class players, because if we're going to have really bad youngsters, we need really good players in the squad to try and excel them and help them grow, as Bruno should be staying. Onana maybe could go, you know. The ratings aren't very good. We've still got some youngsters around this squad ourselves. Ahmad we could try and keep if we don't go for a winger. Lenny Yoro, definitely keeping him. And also Kobe Mainoo's available, as we can loan out our youngsters, but I actually don't really want to do that. We've got a lot of selling to do, and we've got to pick a formation. But it would be stupid of me picking that straight away. We've got to get our youth players into the club and bin off the current academy, because we are not using any of these lads given to us. We want to do this ourselves, as we've got a good scout initially. Then I'm going to hire Lucas Hurst and also Aidan Curry, 4-star, 5-star, with the Englishman obviously prioritized straight away. And the positions that I am after, I'm just going to keep them narrow with them. Centre mid for David Beckham, then fullbacks for Gary and Phil Neville. And then the second scout, I'm going to go, actually, I'm going to go Scotland. And like I said, we can go any position, as I'm going to choose goalkeeper, because Onana in the long term, I don't really want to be keeping him.
He's bloody missed it. What a prat.
Then the final scout, the Scotsman himself, he's going to go to Portugal. And we have to go attacking searching because we need to help Bruno Fernandes, meaning the Welshman will have to wait. Ryan Giggs in the reserves for next season, as we've already got our scout reports back. And this is all about potential searching, as we've got some decent starters from the Portuguese scout, Alfonso Guedes, Pedro de Mesquites, both of them to be loaned out. Hardim I'm not going to keep because we do have Bruno Fernandes. We've got Arthur Hunt, an Englishman. Lucas Myers, a left-hand-sided player, which I didn't expect to get given. But this man is my favourite. Aidan Bremner, a goalkeeper from Scotland with significant potential, as he's already on the loan list. We've got some real-life players on the loan list as well, because I want to get this squad ticking. As the 5-year timer has already started, we do already have our OG team together. I've chosen the 4-3-3 defensive, and let's see how Season 1 goes for them. We're giving the first teamers on them astronomical wages, as Sir Jim said in his interview, the chance to hopefully stake their place in the team long term, until the youth come through, of course. We've loaned them out. I have been loaning for so long. As we still finish 7th in the league, which is better than real life, but not where we want to be. Conceding a lot of goals, losing the Community Shield, which isn't a good omen. Not winning the FA Cup, and not winning the Carabao as well. Could be trophyless without the... oh my days, the Europa League goes to Spurs. Okay, so the first team are definitely bottle jobs. Losing to Sociedad. I mean, if that doesn't tell you our team is not set, I don't know the other explanation, because I think we're not getting into Europe now. With Fulham winning the FA Cup, as this is a team and this is how it stands, looks like Mainu, Ahmad, Højlund and Garnacho. The youngsters have done themselves proud. It's the likes of De Ligt, Onana, Mazraoui, Ugarte a little bit, who hasn't gone up in rating. Same as Bruno Fernandes. He is 30-year-old, so he might leave soon. So we need to get our youth moving. And who is eligible to stay? Based on performance, well, we've got Jadon Sancho out at Chelsea. I think he'll be going out permanently, because I don't like the look of him long-term. Especially when we've got Garnacho, who gets 18 goals, so he might stick around. Same as Rasmus Højlund, although we have another Danish striker, Chide Obi, at only 17, 71 rated. He could be the striker going forward. Of course, we don't have many seasons, though, as Hunt to a 67, Myers to a 61. We still do need 3 Englishmen. De Mesquites looks a good Portuguese, so he might make it to the final season. But then give it up for Aidan Bremner. He's 70 rated. Yes, he'll still need more loan deals, and yes, we'll keep Onana for now. As spot the team he's gone on loan to as well and done well at, it's Salford City, which the class of 92, the original ones, do own. That's brilliant they want to help us out. But if you guys want to help me out, we are on the road to 50k subscribers and we are less than 1,000 away. I want to go absolutely ham this summer, and the thing that would motivate me the most is hitting that mark and you guys leaving a like to let me know you've liked. As it begins, yes, the players running out of contract, I immediately let expire, like Lindelof, Tom Heaton and Eriksson. They were just going to take up game time from our youth, which I don't think are ready, and a lot of players coming back, so we do have the potential to make a lot of money. Marcus Rashford, Anthony, Malacia, Jadon Sancho. I don't think they will get used, as another player I didn't speak about. Patrick Dorgo, I want to use him. We've got a lot of Danish players at the club right now, but De Mesquites, just 1 more year out on loan, I think. And 1 more year with this team. Of course, we can add to it to make it stronger, because at this moment in time, it's not qualifying for the Champions League. And we've got to win that trophy now in 4 seasons. The timer is ticking. And so it is on the youth, as we've got these scouts to send out again. But let's firstly check the academy that lasted. Well, we've got an Englishman. Patrick Monk we will promote, because we do need 3 more Englishmen already. As my plan is to go ham on youth and get rid of some first teamers to make room for those coming in. So I'm going to release a lot of the youth who are bad in this save, which includes the likes of Vitek, Jackson and Bennett. Also, I might release the likes of Malacia, who are running out of contract, and I don't use them at all in this save. So we've kept the first team, we've kept a few bench players, but then I've really heavily released lots of them down here, taking up 17 million, but we still do have a huge budget. And the plan is to get the rest of the youth and then sign 1 big player that will carry us to that Champions League, because I just want to be qualifying for the moment. As the youth, firstly, we're going to go with England, needing 3 players, like I said. As the Welshman, well, I think you all know where this is really going to go. I'm only joking. I'm going to go defender, because you might have predicted wing for Ryan Giggs to recreate him, like I said. But when we look at the youngsters we've got on the wings, we've got Desguites, Guedes, Garnacho, and they're only the left-hand side. And with a brilliant Scottish keeper found, I'm just going to go to Portugal again. Don't need to, so I'm just going to search for a striker, because if we can find another Ronaldo who can put the ball in the back of the net, it will be incredible. As here we go, I see a lot of green in the potential ratings, especially on this man with the best first name, Max Whittaker. He's going to get a promotion. We've got Aldir, who is a striker, Harry Humphreys, a centre-back. Not much potential, but we can change that by loaning him out, of course, because that's what we're going to do with a lot of players. We've got Jacob Randall looking good. Gerish, Another Welshman? But it's not that simple, and I'm not putting them on training drills because I am going to take the risk still in Season 2 of loaning them out, as now we only have Humphreys through the academy, so getting a centre-back could be a risk, which wouldn't really inhibit our youngsters. And although it's not part of the challenge, I want one that's going to grow and be younger than the Butcher and Mateus de Ligt, as Antonio Silva. £34 million from Atletico Madrid, where he's just moved. But he's still got a release clause popping out, so I don't care that he's just moved to them. He's coming to a Portuguese manager, and he's coming to race to that UCL title, as that's the aim for this season. And I've made a little mistake, or what I thought was going to be a mistake. I didn't loan out Monk, but I kept Dorgu, and he has got some game time, which is brilliant. So I think we're near the point we have to swap some of these younger players into the team to let them grow in Season 2, but of course the first team's growing. Bruno Fernandes, I'll tell you in a minute about him, then Agate, then Mainu, he's an 84 himself, same as Silva, but yeah, it's going to be really hard because this team is getting better, but these are the players we have to use long term to improve ourselves, as here we go. This may come as a shock to you, but Bruno Fernandes is released. Whatever he's done for us this season, I am happy with. But sorry, Bruno, you've got to go. You're 31, and we've got to bring youngsters through to fit into this first page because we don't have any youngsters on it currently. Our new signing's done pretty well, but who's the best? Out on loan, it's Chido Obi who doesn't count. But then we've got Aidan Bremner, who we potentially could play next season. Then Pedro Mesquites, I can't really say his name in one sentence, but it looks like our Scotsman and Portuguese maybe have been completed, as then we've got one of our Englishmen doing well, another one not far behind, and then another one not far behind him. Of course, that's 3. As then our Welshman not doing bad, but then our next Englishman is all the way down here at a 62. So we've got to get cooking with finding some Englishmen pretty quick, because we've only got 3 seasons before we get them into the first team squad, as these are our best players currently, Garnacho and Hoyland. Now they're going to be hard to replace, so maybe we replace Ahmad, because we do have Pedro coming through our ranks, and I feel like putting them into the first team next season, which will be in the Champions League, which is what we wanted to be in. However, now this is getting harder because I just can't stress it enough. Blending the youngsters who are below 80 rated with the world-class players, it's going to be a hard mix. It's going to be really hard as the FA Cup doesn't go our way. North London Derby won by Arsenal. The Carabao Cup we did reach the finale of, beaten by Liverpool. And then, like I said, didn't qualify for Europe. We are not even in the Conference League this season. And now in the Champions League. But this is the stressful moment. We've got to try and fit this squad together. At least Bremner would fit us a backup goalkeeper. De Mesquites would go onto the bench, but I do want to make some of these players first teamers, as this is the best that we could do for now. We've got Hunt, Bremner, and De Mesquites in. But still, Hunt's really, really young. And then we've got Patru Dorgu, who is young himself and has come on leaps and bounds, whose game time would probably be prioritised over him. And then for the rest of them, it is going to be another loan year because we just can't afford to play them, as we could afford to pay them, which almost slipped out of my mouth because we've got £144 million. Beautiful. But let's hold as horses. I think we've hit territory now. We've got to get rid of some of these first teamers. Despite us getting in the Champions League, I like Andre Onana, don't need to use him. Bayerndir would be back up to Bremer and also Shaw. He's on the transfer list already. Patrick Dorgu, I will try and loan. Need to get rid of Lisandro and need to get rid of Mateus de Ligt because I want to play Eleni Euro and Antonio Silva as the going forward bunch. Mazarawi can go onto the transfer list as well if we really wanted him to. Agate I'm going to keep, but it's the likes of Marcus Rashford as well. The first team squad now are getting dumped out despite getting us into the Champions League, as these are the youth from last season. Bradley Oliver, decent, 60 rated, gonna take him on. We'll take Kian Jenkins. And an Englishman in Jamie Harris. He had really good potential, as now it's Englishman we have to prioritise. And that's why I'm getting another scout. I'm going for a 5-star experienced one, just to change things up again. I do think we already had one, but still, I like to change things up a little, as English we've got to go for. And the positions on the field they could go, we've got 2 Englishmen already. We've already got our wingers, so it's difficult, but I'm gonna go defensive, as that's the only way we get a player player in. We've got a 14-year-old. He's not going to get promoted in time. Dominic Nicholas. Maybe Charlie Plant. Could plant himself into the first team. Well, hey, that's a not funny joke, because Elliot Hale is the best. Then we do have Adam Osborne. We're expected the Champions League final, and we have to get into the Champions League next year. So maybe that requires another big signing after we've got our players out, because this is a huge make it or break it season. So bye-bye, Anthony. Don't think we'll be missing him, but I'm even selling them bench players that won't be used at all. Joshua Zirkzee, goodbye to Spurs, and goodbye to Marcus Rashford, as we've got to watch out the teams we are selling to. Never mind just trying to get the players out, as I have got a lot of them out, but we've strengthened the rivals Chelsea, and we've strengthened Manchester City with Lissandro, and obviously weakened ourselves, because this team, honestly, it's shocking. Come on, we've got to improve it. And I think I know just how to. First of all, by fixing the bench up, I'm going to put Desmiquites there, Hale there, Whittaker, just see if they can grow from being subs at big Manchester United, because we are going to get more rotation with the Champions League kicking in, the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup. Maybe loading stops for those. We'll still loan out the likes of Randall, because I do want another midfielder, and I do want another striker, despite having a brilliant one, because if we are to win that Champions League, we're gonna have to spend the big bucks, £288 million. Oh, sorry, not even win the Champions League, just qualify for next season. And Mateus Fernandes, the replacement for Bruno, still fits in with the youngster philosophy, is another Portuguese player, and is one that were just relegated, and plus he can grow with the youth. He fits in that midfield. It allows us to get Randall out on another loan, and he should be good enough himself to qualify us for Champions League next year. However, now, Rasmus, my boy, you have served us very decently, but it's time for you to be replaced, and it's time for us to go big. As you might guess where this guy's from, I wouldn't blame you if you knew already. It is Goncalo Ramos, and it is an 88 rated man. As look at that, he is glistening. He's not 88 rated anymore, he is 91. Jeez. The game likes Goncalo Ramos this year. Or in this save, I've never seen him as good, as we do have one current player, our Scotsman, ticked off because Bremner's took that spot as his own. And overall, this team's bloody brilliant. Fernandes could move out very soon, which is what we really wanted. Rasmus Højlund at an 87. Bench has been pretty weak. We kept Obi here because we didn't have many players. Plus, I'm keeping my fingers crossed we're in the UCL again this year, but more importantly, we really need some youth coming through. We've had no anomalies that have grown to be world beaters or world class, but we do have an 83 rated at the moment. Pedro de Mesquitas, who are loaned out last minute to Napoli. He could feature in the team next year, and also Arthur Hunt. A Premier League move to Wolves was exactly what he needed to boost his career. Whittaker's at a 79, and he's been on loan at Huddersfield. We've got Randall, Hale, so quite a few Englishmen now, as there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 up here. 6 counting Hunt. And then we've got our one Portuguese player. It's now Welsh we're kind of concerned with. We do have Dylan Gerish and we do have Dylan Jones. Both are our fullbacks. And next season being the final season, we need to go for that UCL title. Wales could slip us up. Maybe we loan them out for half a season. If that's entirely possible, as Goncalo Ramos's rating boomed up the top end, but Højlund did score more goals than him. Still 2 scoring strikers, and we had the same amount of defeats as Chelsea, the league winners, as yes, we do have UCL. So that's the first objective ticked off. Yes, it's not a trophy for Manchester United, but it's exactly what we needed as the FA Cup. We're never near the finish line. Let's have a check. Let's have a stop. Let's have a break. We went straight out. We were hammered by Arsenal, who we did finish above in the league. So a weird one as Newcastle United repeat real-life antics with the exact same scoreline as well, as we lost on penalties to Liverpool. And just to keep our interest here, keep our eye on it, Manchester United, with a very weak bench, finished 11th in the UCL table. Not bad at all. It even hammered AS Monaco and only fell at the hands of Real Madrid, who are a stacked squad. Me personally don't think that's an injustice at all, as we now need to get the players all lined up around the squad. Apart from Bremner, and that's because most of them do fit on the bench. We've got 4 Englishmen now, so we're going to have to fit another English player in. And obviously no room on the bench, as Whittaker and Randall are our midfielders, and that is going to stay that way. I might try and put Hunt into the team, take Mazraoui out, go like that for now, but I still want another player in that lineup. And instead of promoting another player, I think this is where we up the rating. Elliot Hale's stats really do look like a centre-backs. So if we try him in that position, only 18-year-old, hopefully it skyrockets his rating, of course, playing for Manchester United as well. That is 2 players into the lineup. Now we just need another Englishman to fit into this squad, and I am going to fit Dismasquites in, giving us 4 out of the 8 in the first team, and then on the bench we've got 2 out of the other 8, so that is 6 altogether. Hope I can count. Hopefully that made a lot of sense. But then we have Harris and Oliver, because we do need another English player, and also our Welshman, because we've got Gerrish and Jones, both the Dillanses, but I am going to keep them in the reserves despite needing to win the UCL this year, because if I could loan them, say, to a top championship side, then recall them back halfway through their loan, that would be absolutely perfect. Because Jamie Harris, for example, he's still an exciting prospect, only 17 and can play. Instead of just being sat on the bench, we'll let Ahmad sit on the bench for now. Same with Delict, same for Mazraoui, who might get fed into the squad by the CPU, as now we need to go for it. And 225 million, again, I want to add a world-class player, and the only weak positions really, right back, Gerrish could be there, also Fernandez in the midfield. We've got some midfielders coming through, but now, if we buy someone who isn't too high rated, for example, Conor Gallagher, he could interchange with Fernandez, allowing one of the boys on the bench in Whittaker or Randall to also get put out on loan, as we've got to think these loans out perfectly. As there we have it, he's back in England. I am worried about the weak defence, but we do have them 2 backup men. I just have to keep remembering that. As now tactics, we've gone with the same formation, and I don't believe it. I haven't bought any coaches, but actually there is logic to this. The youngsters have never been at the club, and yes, I wish they could have played, but they weren't realistically playing, and then winning the Champions League. As speaking on the youth, which I've done almost all save, really looked out with Randall. That's one of our midfielders going to Arsenal. Then we've got Dylan Jones, a very good move to the Bundesliga. But I haven't forgot about the other lads though, all of them getting their chances on loan, as the final thing to do now is change Hale to see if he fits into the squad. A big increase, a big jump, but the jump is even higher now. We're at the end of the season, and this team has to win the Champions League. With them qualifications of all the different kinds of players, as we currently have, I think 4 near the left-hand side. Our Portuguese player we know is completed in Dismasquites. Well, we need to change him actually over to this side. And there we go. Partnered with 2 good players. Then we have one of our Englishmen, or actually make it 2, but our Scotsman was always completed. Bremner has been fantastic. As you can see, the reserves are not full at all, because I've been loaning some players out, like you saw earlier on, but I believe I saw another Englishman in Max Whittaker. But that's not the only thing around here. We do have Jamie Harris on loan at Ajax. We have Randall, who we knew about, but then Bradley Oliver. The mullet man goes to Newcastle, probably got more starts than Randall. Then we have Gerrish, who was our Welshman. +4 at the club he was at last season, as we might as well check the goals. Oh my days, look at that for our striker. This game loves him. Goncalo Ramos. 50 goals in all comps. Then we've got 31 from Garnacho, 27 from Ahmad. As of course we had enough money left over to recall all the players we needed to. Here we go down here. 3 Englishmen, 2 Welshmen, because I brought Jones back as well. But let's get this team all set up. As when we put the youth in the starting 11, that is the objective completed. We do have 5 Englishmen. We do have 1 Scotsman, 1 Portuguese, and not forgetting the Welsh right back, which we needed, but the challenge is far from over. We've got the players we need, but still, them 90 rateds that I've just benched need to get us to the UCL final as we finish 4th in the competition, meaning we'll have it next year. and I probably will keep the challenge going. As the FA Cup finally, we get round to our run, winning the whole thing. I told you the team we built was good enough, as that is another trophy. Or is that actually our first one? Kind of forgot what's gone on before us, but we're proving we can do it in cup runs, in one-off games, because we reached the Carabao Cup final. Didn't go our way still, and I'm not taking anything for granted here, because you can see Newcastle United finished top of the league phase. Everyone's competing in this competition, and we got blessed with who we played first, because Borussia Dortmund, always a team I'm really fond of playing in career mode. We just find a way to beat them, as Leverkusen did well in the group stage. Or the league phase as PSG, we literally just stole their starting striker and used him to reach the UCL finale, so it could happen, but still, we've got to win the game all together. We are going to play the youth, and this is going to be a huge challenge. Juventus. It's Vlahovic versus Ramos. Similar strikers. And we're at the Estadio del Benfica. Love it here because, of course, it's the ex-team of Antonio Silva as well. He was a Benfica defender. Now 90 rated at us. These players might not be great together. They all need to gel. And we've got loads of Portuguese. We should be safe. Despite the lack of chemistry, as will result in them to punt the ball forward because they've got a lot of defenders and we are very quick. We're very agile like Di Mosquites towards the back post. Looking for that early goal, but not finding it. As, oh no, Francolino, their first chance. Bremner called into action. And I'm fine with that. He needs to be tested, as that's a big test. A good chest back, though, from the CDM turned centre-back. And that was supposed to be rolled out to him. Hunt, though, if he chips that over, where did the Juventus defence go? Di Mosquites is through on goal. Our Portuguese regen of Ronaldo doesn't get it wrong. The youngster has us in front. Now, that's one thing I was worried about. Goncalo Ramos or Agate scoring the goal. But for now, a youth player's winning us the Champions League. Brilliant little run through and a brilliant assist from Arthur Hunt. Just had to keep on running with the ball there. Drilled into the bottom bin. And Bob's your uncle. There's the first goal, as now we also need more of them. Harris getting his first run out. I like that run style. He's the new Beckham, maybe Romeo Beckham. I'm saying that. So maybe I have a thumbnail, as now we need to defend still. Locatelli through the middle. Abdul Fatawu. A good block hail, as he had to run away with the ball, and he did so. Di Mosquites into Hunt. 1-2. That's good. Our left back is very inverted. Look at the run he is making here. He's got the assist. Might get a goal. Number 30 with the rapid play style. It's Arthur Hunt who almost scores. Unreal player as now. I want to kind of force the ball to Harris because I do find it funny, his run style. Also Gary, shout out him, the right back. He's done a quite decent job. Of course, one of our lowest rated at 80 in all my days. It was always going to be hard from that angle. And screw it, I am going to make some subs. I don't think they're on at the moment, and as soon as I have made them, one of the current players, one of the youngsters, has got injured. Di Mosquites, the goal scorer, but still, we need to try and block this move off. Hale is going to take a yellow card. There we go, we've got the block in. And the subs should have come on as that free kick's wayward, but now we've got to hope the subs don't let us down because they are youngsters. They should be fast, but still, they're inexperienced, as there's Randall's first touch into Di Mosquites, who seems to have shook off his injury here. A decent run. Goncalo Ramos over the top. Lacking quality. As Obi isn't on the bench, unfortunately, did take him off to make room for Garnacho, who I haven't put on us. Come on, lads. Keep this up. You're not far away from the win now, as a ball out wide into Di Mosquites again. Just find out the Hunt, the man of the match so far. Absolutely dominant. Can this man cross? He can do. And that is a header. Looking for the solidifier, as I call it. The second goal in the game as, oh no, Hunt. He's got that play style that kind of lets him down a bit defensively, but still, 1 minute on the clock. We're forcing them back, and they have no attack, as we've attacked them to win the UCL title with 8 youngsters ending on the field. We had all the youngsters we needed. Oh no, make it 9. Randall came on. Antonio Silva and Goncalo Ramos were the only real-life players on the field come the end of it, as it's Antonio Silva lifting the trophy. Not a youth player, but them two at the front who want youth players deserve respect for helping the rest of the lads come through it. And that was a snatch and grab, really. 1-0's not the scoreline we like, but it's the scoreline we needed. As do I do this challenge with some other clubs. As always, let me know in the comments below.